Take two.
Thank you for coming, guys. This is the first interview since the end of the season. My name is Dan Thomas. I'm the manager and coach of the Manitoba Snow Cones. I'm going to really briefly touch on the end of last season for just a couple questions, and then we're going to dive right into this season. Go ahead. The floor is open for questions.
How did the second place finish feel in last year's championship?
You know, it was a real bitter ending to a really sweet season. We played very well. We trained really hard. Our players worked really hard, and the last two weeks of the season, we just could not put it together. That disappointment, I guess. You know, that's all I can really say about that.
After finishing second place last season, what has the franchise done to make improvements?
Just the normal things that we always go through. Our progressions of making sure that we're doing the right things, training well, scouting, making sure we're bringing in good talent. You know, just doing the things that any normal franchise should do to be successful in this league.
What good things can you take away from last season?
A lot of players that we didn't expect to perform did really well. We had a couple key injuries at the start of the season. We lost Jamal for a little while, but guys like Justin Forsett stepped up and really helped lead us to that championship game. And I mean, we almost won it. We were right there.
Is the franchise sticking with the Manitoba Snow Cones name and logo?
Absolutely. We Johnny Manziel did a very good job for us last year. His logo is now world known. You know, I mean, we get a lot of requests for shirts and all sorts of Manitoba Snow Cones merchandise with his logo on it. We'll stick with the team name. You can see up on the board we have a lot of other athletes that are being endorsed by the Manitoba Snow Cones now. It's not just a team name; it's now a way of life.
There have been rumors coming out of off-season training camp that the Manitoba Snow Cones have been scouting new, exciting prospects. Can you give us insight as to what or who these rumors are about?
All I can tell you is that every single season we're doing the right things and scouting the players and seeing their progress and how they've made improvements over the off season, their health, and we've done all these things just the way you should as a normal franchise.
What will be your draft strategy this year?
I can't talk about draft strategy at this point. We have a couple more days until our draft's going to be going. I just don't want to let any of these other monkeys let us know, what we're going to do. They can wait for draft day.
Are the preseason injuries at all alarming, and will it affect the way you draft?
No, it won't affect the way we draft. I mean, every franchise out there, all the NFL teams have great training facilities. They also have great medical staff. I mean, I can tell you, we won't be drafting Kelvin Benjamin this year. I mean, we're not going to take players that are out for the season or anything. But but no, overall, we'll monitor some things. But the way we draft will just be to take the best player possible.
Are there any players specifically you can pinpoint that you are pursuing?
No, I can't pinpoint any players specifically. That's again, that's just leading to giving information to the other monkeys in my league.
Can you quickfire about a couple teams and managers in regards to their chances of or personal feeling?
You mean like just give you a brief description or just talk about a couple of the teams in our league? Is that what you mean?
That's correct.
Yeah, I can do that. Who specifically? Anybody specific?
Team Bursey. Morgan.
Oh, managed by Morgan.
Yep.
Yeah. He's been real lucky to this point. I think that he has an eye for talent, but I think he's also a really reckless drafter, and I think he's been lucky to do as well as he's done these last couple of years. I think he's just due for a downfall. It's just got to be in the cards. He just can't do well. This can't be sustained.
What about Slave to the Toaster, managed by Matt Looper?
I mean that guy doesn't know his head from his ass. I mean he's out there looking. He has a laptop open. He's got pages of research open. ESPN the magazine. I mean, all these things, but never is he actually drafting outside of the ESPN ranks. He just looks at rankings and drafts players. Any monkey can do that.
Dallas Ass Toys, formerly Premature Ejaculation, managed by Mike Bishop.
Funny story behind that. I don't know if everyone here knows this, but the reason why he had to change his team name, him and I made a little gentleman's bet last year that he would have to change his team name based on if he could beat me, because he's never beat me, and he couldn't. Yeah, so he ended up losing to me. I got to choose his logo and everything. I don't know if you guys remember last year's logo, but it was him with holding a bunch of dildos. Yeah, it was a funny story. But anyways, he's another one of those guys that he can do well in this league. He's not a bad competitor. He did finish 3-7 last year, and I was 7-3. I mean, just natural that I was a little bit better. But he tries real hard.
And what about Laces Out, managed by Chris?
He's just a guy in the league. I mean, I guess, you need 12 people, so you just throw people in there every once in a while. It just kind of happens. I mean, I don't think he's a bad guy. He's just, I don't know, middle of the, pack kind of player, I guess.
No Big Deal, PJ.
Oh, PJ, yeah. Just like his team name, he's no big deal. You don't need to worry about him. He's really not doing anything spectacular. It's just PJ. I'm sure that he'll be passed out halfway through our draft, or maybe maybe he won't be. I don't know. I know they're in a Super Bowl. He can't even make it to the first quarter.
Finns fans.
Oh, Margot. She's a real great competitor. First season in the league, she beat me. I said a lot of very mean and nasty things. I even called her one night and made a Ben Roethlisberger statement. But she ended up giving me a signed book. Do you guys know she published a book? She published a book. It was like Fantasy for Women or something like that. Signed a copy and gave it to me. But of course, just like every great competitor, the next season she drafted Calvin Johnson first overall, and he got injured, and she finished in pretty close to last place, I think, right? I mean, I'm always at the top, and she just is a roller coaster.
How about UPS, FU, FedEx?
Trey, yeah. Another one of those guys that's probably going to be passed out during the draft. Just goes a little bit too hard. One thing I can say for him is he probably will have every Dallas Cowboy on his team. Yeah, I'm sure his first round pick will be Des Bryant. His second will be maybe it'll be Tony Romo. Then he's going to go with Jason Witten. Then he might even pull a Darren McFadden there at the end. I just know that's just how he operates. He's a guy that reaches for talent, and typically, since he won the year previous to me getting in the league. Since I've been in the league, I haven't seen him finish in the. I didn't even see him make the playoffs. Really, it's kind of crazy.
Do you have a word for the newcomers in this league?
I guess our league's a merger this year. This is the first year that the League of Monkeys, I guess, is merging with what they call a club league. A couple people in the club league that I'm sure are fierce competitors that will try and play in our league. But anyways, no, you guys are just, you're in for a really tough challenge. You're not going to beat me. I mean, I guess you guys can compete amongst each other, and I hope you do well, but you're definitely not going to beat me specifically.
Lastly, can you tell us your goal and plan this year in a brief statement?
Yeah, it's to go out there and kick everyone's ass like I do every year. I'm always one of the top scoring teams. I always have great talent on my teams. Everyone's always afraid of us, and I don't think that that's going to change. I think that everyone's going to be, they're all going to be fighting for middle grounds. They're all going to be trying to make the playoffs, and I'm going to be in there as a top team. Always happens every year. But we've worked really hard. We're going to make it back to the championship, and we're going to win it this time. We've been in one of the top teams every year, and we've fell just short this year. Not happening. We're gonna win it all. Is that all?
That's it.
All right. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate all the love, Manitoba Snow Cones. This is the first year we will self-proclaim them America's team. So, Manitoba Snow Cones, America's team. Thank you, ESPN. We appreciate all the love, and God bless. God bless.